What's up everybody, Alex here, and welcome to the Dota Underlords Builds of the Week. Now, this week I'm starting with something slightly different. I got 3 builds for you, but I wanted to make sure that everyone was aware that the drop rate for individual units based on their rarity has been changed. In fact, last Friday, the Underlords team, they released a change where basically the legendaries were much more frequently pulled at 10 and level 9, which resulted in a lot of tier 5 base comps. And what happened is they reverted it on Sunday back to, actually, I was going to say back to the original, but they've actually reduced the tier 5 pull rate very significantly. So I only have one build that is kind of relying on any sort of tier 5 unit. It's a Scrappy based build, but you guys need to be aware that the odds per level for each individual tier has greatly changed. And for the most part, what you're seeing is at level 8, this is where you have the most opportunity to do a lot of re-rolling, because you're still going to be able to cap off some of your tier 2s that need to be leveled up. Your tier 3s, which you'll have a few of, are still at 30%, and now you're at 20% for tier 4. You can get to level 9 for that 25% for tier 4, but that is a huge investment in resources, gold-wise. So I suggest re-rolling at 8 right now, and all these builds will cap out at 9 units for the late game, but bear that in mind that the odds have changed, so keep an eye on the updates. I will link the Dota Underlords update page below so you can keep up to date with the patch notes, but it was something I wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of. And for our top build of the week this week, Brawnies are still on top. What we have here is the Brawny build with a few minor changes. We're utilizing the Drow Ranger in the center here to utilize her passive, so when the Beastmaster engages his opponents, she'll still be providing the buff to the units, and Beastmaster with the Hunter synergy will be getting some double shots in. We're lining up Lycan and Juggernaut back here to prevent any assassins from jumping on our Necrophos, who's going to be providing our healing. And what you're going to have here is you have Tidehunter and Kunkka both being utilized for their stuns. Tidehunter has been recently buffed. Tidehunter is at 2 stars, which you're likely to get him to 2700 health and a very wide range AoE stun effect. Very, very, very useful unit, especially when you consider the amount of DPS that you'll be doing. Disruptor's ability to silence the opposing team is kind of amplified by Drow Ranger's attack speed, so Disruptor's gonna be able to get his mana faster. And Juggernaut, just a note for Juggernaut, Juggernaut has been recently changed to tier 3, but is still one of the most effective heroes in the game. Very viable to get him to 3 stars. The only disadvantage to this build is Brawny is highly contested, as are Scrappies, but overall, a very solid build. Most Brawnies aren't running Kunkka, so Kunkka should be a lock, and a lot of Brawnies aren't running Drow Ranger either. So you should be able to get a bunch of these units, but the Juggernauts and especially the Beastmasters might be tricky. It should be noted that in terms of global items, Fall from Grace, the classic go-to that I always suggest, is great in this build. It basically gives the negative 10 armor effect thanks to Kunkka and Lycan being in the lineup. Our second build of the week is the classic Knights and Warlocks. This is just simply doing work. This is such an unbelievable and reliable build. If you're looking to rank up, this is the build for you. You add Fall from Grace in there. Once again, negative 10 armor for all opponents thanks to Omni Knight and the Dragon Knight. This build is absolutely incredible. You're utilizing Viper here to kind of pull away all the assassins. And one thing you can do as well, something that I should have mentioned, is let's say you're against a team that has a lot of stun up front or a lot of melee characters against the Brawnies. What you can do is position these guys back here and position the Viper up front, and what will happen is the Viper with his passive, which is basically going to basically slow enemy attack speed for 2 seconds per attack, is going to basically kind of greatly reduce the amount of DPS being done to the front. Abaddon's going to engage, and Abaddon's shield should be cast on the Viper as Viper's health drops. So something to bear in mind here, that you can move Viper around. If you're against a lot of melee Brawny builds, you're putting Viper up there, and you're going to again reorient our team so that they are positioned in the classic knight formation. And if you have the Brawnies up front, you're going to move Viper up front and once again kind of shift everyone down something like this, actually like that. So anyways, bear that in mind. Be aware of what your opponents are doing in order to maximize your effectiveness on the battlefield. And for our final build of the week, we have the Scrappies. Now, I didn't want to just show you some regular ragtag Scrappy build. I wanted to show you something interesting. And what we have here is we have the Anti-Mage and the Terrorblade splashed into the Scrappies. We have Gyrocopter and Sniper. They're working with the Scrappies and the Deadeye to help pick off, you know, the stragglers in the enemy team. You have Alchemist, and I have Tinker positioned up front because those rockets from Tinker are so damn effective. And if you can put like a chainmail or something like that on the Tinker, it'll keep him up. It'll have him casting a ton of damage up front. And Techies, hopefully you have a Blink Dagger on Techies. You can even put Techies here if he has a Blink Dagger and do something like this to protect your Sniper. And hopefully Techies will blink into the back line and basically just do a ton of damage to their team. Otherwise, something like this works well. You want to protect your Sniper. Clockwork's going to step up. Techies has a ranged attack, and Timbersaw is going to step up and protect the Techies and the Sniper from any assassins that might be jumping on them. Overall, it is a higher end build. The Gyrocopter and the Techies are difficult to kind of get a hold of right now. If you know, moving into that, if you know, you can take the Techies out, for instance, and you can have, for instance, if you don't have Techies, you might have a Bounty Hunter instead, right? And then you're gonna sub out the Bounty Hunter for the Techies later or for the Gyrocopter. So again, a bit of a high-reaching build, but overall very effective if you can get to it. The Techies and the Gyrocopter are the hard ones there, but overall, even if you have, you know, just Gyrocopter, just Techies, and you're still running, you know, your Bounty Hunter, still an overall very effective build. It would look something, I would do something like this. Definitely worth trying, but a little more difficult to pull off than the others, especially the Knight build, which is just simply rock solid. Thank you guys so much for watching, and a special thank you to all my subscribers. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care, and good luck in Dota Underlords.